In the modern world, many people have long lost their perception of true strength and nobility. They blindly worship superficial wealth, luxury goods, and ostentatious social status, taking flashy appearances and momentary vanity as the only standard to measure a person's value. Love, kinship, and friendship have gradually been reduced to transactions in their eyes, where the poor are despised and the rich are blindly flattered. They arbitrarily trample on the low-key and humble, believing that those who keep a low profile are mediocre and worthless, never knowing that the most powerful people in the world often hide their edge and hide their wealth in plain sight. Blue Bay International Marina is the most top-tier and exclusive high-end yacht resort in the entire Gyeongchung coastal area. Spanning over 2 square kilometers of prime coastal waters, it integrates global superyacht docking, private sea vacation services, high-end coastal club banquets, luxury sea tourism, and billionaire private reception functions. It is the only platinum-level yacht port in the province, with extremely harsh entry and consumption thresholds that ordinary people can never cross in their lifetime. All the yachts docked in Blue Bay are millions to tens of millions of dollars worth of top luxury vessels, covering global famous brands such as Azimut, Sunseeker, and Ferretti. Only the top 0.1% of billionaires, business tycoons, and celebrity elites in the city are qualified to hold permanent membership cards here. Ordinary wealthy people can't even step into the gate of the marina, let alone rent or own a private yacht here. In the eyes of all Gyeongchung people, the owner of Blue Bay Marina is a mysterious and unfathomable top-tier financial giant who controls the entire high-end sea leisure industry of the city, a supreme figure standing at the pinnacle of the coastal elite circle. No one in the entire city knows that this huge international marina, all waterfront villas, exclusive yacht berths, high-end club venues, professional sea service teams, and all super yacht assets parked in the port are my 100% private exclusive property. I am the sole behind-the-scenes owner of Blue Bay International Marina, controlling all high-end yacht resources and top sea leisure business of Gyeongchung coastal area. My name is Soo Chun. I am a low-key investor who has been lurking in Gyeongchung for many years. At the age of 18, I relied on my precise financial vision and cross-border investment layout to accumulate my first bucket of gold. In the past 5 years, I have successfully acquired the full equity and operating rights of Blue Bay Marina during the industry low tide and completed the full coverage of high-end coastal industry layout. My personal net assets have long exceeded billions of dollars, far surpassing all the so-called wealthy celebrities and elite tycoons in Gyeongchung. I have thousands of top luxury yachts of various models parked in the marina, dozens of exclusive private waterfront villas with unlimited sea views, and a professional high-end service team of more than 300 people who specialize in serving my personal sea vacation needs. All the general managers, club presidents, yacht captains, and elite service staff of Blue Bay Marina work exclusively for me. All the annual membership fees, yacht rental fees, high-end banquet service fees, and sea project operating profits of the marina all flow into my personal account. After possessing such terrifying wealth and industry status, I have never had the slightest intention of showing off. After witnessing too many snobbish elites who rely on wealth to bully others and vanity socialites who chase flashy appearances, I have long been tired of the noisy and utilitarian upper-class circle. I prefer to hide my identity completely, live an ordinary and down-to-earth life, and experience the most trivial daily life of ordinary people. In daily life, I wear simple and cheap casual clothes worth less than $80, drive an ordinary old sedan that has been used for 6 years, live in a quiet ordinary residential community, and never participate in any elite banquets or wealthy gatherings. I hide all my billions of assets and top industry status, pretending to be an ordinary office worker with a monthly salary of a few $1,000s, willing to be mediocre and low-key. My low-key personality has become the biggest reason for my fiancé, Lin Wanqing's dissatisfaction and contempt. Lin Wanqing comes from a small wealthy family with a family asset of less than $10 million. In the upper-class circle, her family background is not worth mentioning at all, but in the ordinary crowd, she is used to being praised and flattered and has extremely arrogant and superior vanity. Since we got engaged half a year ago, Lin Wanqing has always been full of complaints about my plain life. She dislikes my shabby dressing, my ordinary car, my unremarkable job, and my unwillingness to take the initiative to cater to the upper-class circle. She always thinks I am unambitious, cowardly, and incompetent, and often preaches to me that only by mixing in the elite circle, driving luxury cars, and playing with high-end projects can a man be called successful. I have been tolerating her vanity and superficiality again and again, thinking that after getting married, she will gradually settle down and understand the true meaning of life. But I never expected that my tolerance and low profile would only make her more arrogant and ignorant. She even took my low-key humility as cowardice and poverty, and finally chose to betray our engagement for a so-called yacht elite, and humiliated me thoroughly in public. The grand elite yacht party held in Blue Bay Marina completely tore off her last disguise of hypocrisy and snobbery. She abandoned me in public, ridiculed my poverty and mediocrity, clung to a so-called wealthy young man who owned a yacht, and thought she had caught the top-tier upper-class resources. She never imagined that the luxurious Blue Bay Marina she craved, the top yacht party she attended, and the luxury yacht that the wealthy young man showed off were all trivial assets under my name. Hashtag Chapter 1 Extreme Humiliation, Public Abandonment at the Elite Yacht Party. The weekend night yacht party held by Blue Bay International Marina is the most anticipated top social event in Jiangqing's elite circle. All the participants are wealthy businessmen, social celebrities, and young elite talents in the city. Ordinary people have no qualification to obtain admission tickets at all. The invitation letter of the party is extremely precious, and even many millionaires can't get a single entry quota. Lin Wanqing tried her best and begged her family for a long time before getting 2 hard-won party invitation letters. She originally planned to attend the party with me, taking this opportunity to let me mix into the elite circle and gain so-called high-end connections. I knew very well that this kind of vanity party was meaningless, but considering her thoughts, I did not refuse. I dressed in my usual simple casual clothes, drove my old ordinary sedan, and accompanied her to the gate of Blue Bay Marina as promised. As soon as we arrived at the marina entrance, Lin Wanqing's face instantly turned cold and full of disgust. She looked me up and down with extremely contemptuous eyes, and her tone was full of irritability and dissatisfaction. Su Chen, look at your current appearance. We are going to attend the top elite yacht party in the city, and you are wearing these ragged cheap clothes and driving this broken old car. Do you know how embarrassing you are? All the people inside are driving luxury cars and wearing brand name custom suits, and you are simply a rustic clown mixed in the elite crowd. I looked at her calmly and replied indifferently. Clothes and cars are just external decorations. The purpose of the party is to communicate, not to show off vanity. There is no need to care about these superficial things. My plain words made Lin Wanqing burst into anger. She frowned tightly, took a big step back, and distanced herself from me, as if she was afraid of being associated with me and losing her so-called elite identity. Superficial. This is the reality of society. Without luxury clothes and luxury cars, you are a loser in the eyes of others. Look at you. You have been ordinary for so many years, with no ambition and no ability. You can only live a mediocre life of earning a dead salary. How can you give me the wealthy life I want? My friends' boyfriends all drive sports cars, wear luxury brands, and take them to attend various high-end banquets. Only I, Lin Wanqing, have a fiancé like you who is poor and incompetent. I have lost all my face because of you. I frowned slightly, still choosing to tolerate. We live a down-to-earth life. No need to compare with others. I can guarantee you a stable and happy life. That's enough. Stable and mediocre life. I don't want this boring poverty at all. Lin Wanqing almost roared out, her eyes full of extreme dissatisfaction and vanity. I want luxury yachts, high-end banquets, brand name luxury goods, and the supreme elite status. These things you can never give me in your life. Just as Lin Wanqing was furious, a dazzling silver super yacht slowly docked at the exclusive berth not far away. The yacht is a top-of-the-line Sunseeker 88 model, worth more than $8 million, with a fully transparent sea view deck, luxury indoor bar, private KTV, and high-end catering service area. The whole body of the yacht glows with noble light under the neon lights of the marina, extremely luxurious and eye-catching. A tall and handsome young man in a custom designer suit stepped off the yacht. He had exquisite hairstyle, wearing a famous watch worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, with a proud and superior temperament. He is Zhang Rui, a well-known young rich second generation in Jiangqing, who relies on his family's small asset scale to run rampant in the elite circle and is famous for showing off his yachts and wealth. As soon as Zhang Rui landed, he saw Lin Wanqing standing at the entrance. He immediately showed a gentle and elegant smile, took the initiative to walk forward, and stared at Lin Wanqing with affectionate eyes. Wanqing, you're here. I've been waiting for you on the yacht for a long time. I especially reserved the best sea view deck for you tonight and prepared your favorite imported red wine and top desserts. Facing Zhang Rui's attentive and wealthy posture, Lin Wanqing's angry face instantly turned into a sweet smile. She completely ignored my existence, turned around and walked quickly to Zhang Rui's side, her tone full of flattery and joy. Brother Rui, you are so kind. Your yacht is so luxurious and beautiful. It's completely different from some people's shabby and ordinary style. Zhang Rui glanced at me casually, saw my cheap clothes and old ordinary car, and instantly understood my identity. A strong disdain and contempt flashed in his eyes, and he deliberately raised his voice to tease. Wanqing, is this your friend? He doesn't look like a person who can enter Blue Bay Marina. Ordinary office workers can't afford the consumption and threshold here. Lin Wanqing's face turned extremely embarrassed. She immediately shook her head vigorously, distanced herself from me completely, and said ruthlessly and publicly, "No, he is just my ex-fiancé. From today on, we have completely broken off the engagement. I have nothing to do with this poor and incompetent man." This sentence was like a sharp ice blade, piercing straight into my heart. I stared at the woman who had been engaged to me for half a year, feeling extremely ridiculous and cold in my heart. Zhang Rui was very satisfied with her answer. He put his arm around Lin Wanqing's shoulder domineeringly and looked at me with condescending and mocking eyes, like a noble looking down on a humble ant. Little brother, you have to recognize your own gap. Wanqing is such a beautiful and excellent girl. She deserves the best luxury life and elite status, not a mediocre life with you who can't even afford a luxury car and yacht. Look at my sunseeker. I can take Wanqing to sail at sea, watch the night sea view, and attend top banquets every day. Can you give her these things? You can only drive your broken car to run errands and work, struggling for a meager salary all your life. Lin Wanqing also took the opportunity to completely humiliate me, her eyes full of indifference and disgust. Su Chen, let's break up completely. I don't want to waste my youth on a useless man like you. Zhang Rui is the real elite and rich man. He can give me wealth and status that you can never catch up with in your life. You are too low grade and mediocre. You can only live a poor life. Don't pester me in the future, or you will only make yourself more embarrassed. At this time, many elite guests passing by the Marina entrance all stopped and watched, pointing and whispering, their eyes full of ridicule and sympathy for me. Everyone thought I was a poor loser who was abandoned by his beautiful fiancée because of poverty, and everyone was mocking my incompetence and mediocrity. Zhang Rui enjoyed this superior feeling very much. He deliberately took out a stack of cash from his wallet, threw it casually in front of me, and said arrogantly, "These thousands of dollars are your breakup compensation. Take the money and get out of here immediately. Don't appear in front of Wanqing and affect our mood for the party. This high-end Marina elite circle is not a place for poor people like you to stay. In the future, don't dream of marrying an excellent girl like Wanqing. You are not worthy at all. You can only find an ordinary poor girl to live a mediocre life." The cash scattered all over the ground, extremely dazzling and insulting under the neon lights. The surrounding guests burst into whispers and laughter, and all kinds of mocking eyes rushed towards me like a tide. Lin Wanqing stood beside Zhang Rui, holding his arm tightly, looking at me with indifferent and disdainful eyes, without the slightest trace of old affection, as if I was just a trivial clown not worth mentioning. Faced with such extreme betrayal and public humiliation, my patience completely collapsed. I have been humble and tolerant, hiding my wealth and status just for a simple and sincere relationship, but what I get in return is endless snobbery, betrayal, and trampling. They don't know that the luxurious Blue Bay Marina they are proud of, the top yacht party they are attending, and the $8 million yacht that Zhang Rui shows off crazily are all under my absolute control. Zhang Rui's so-called luxury yacht is just one of the hundreds of ordinary yachts in my Marina's inventory, rented by him at a high price to pretend to be wealthy. His so-called elite status is just a ridiculous false appearance propped up by leasing my assets. Lin Wanqing abandoned a real top billionaire for a fake rich second generation who rents yachts to pretend to be powerful and humiliated me wantonly for this ridiculous false prosperity. Since they are so obsessed with vanity and so good at judging people by superficial wealth, I will completely crush their false pride today, let them see the real gap between heaven and earth, and make them pay a painful price for their snobbery and ignorance. Hashtag Chapter 2 Explosive Reversal. The abandoned poor man is the Marina's supreme owner. The gentle and indifferent look on my face faded completely in an instant, and a terrifying and domineering aura suddenly swept the entire Marina entrance. The noisy discussions and mocking laughter of the surrounding elite guests disappeared in an instant, and a strong sense of oppression made everyone hold their breath involuntarily. The whole scene fell into dead silence. The arrogant smile on Zhang Rui's face froze rigidly, and the proud and disdainful expression on Lin Wanqing's face also turned blank and flustered. They felt the sudden terrifying aura from me, and an unprecedented sense of unease surged in their hearts. What's your attitude? Are you unconvinced? A poor loser who is dumb still dares to put on a cold face for me. Zhang Rui forced himself to be arrogant, shouting stubbornly to cover up his inner panic. Lin Wanqing also frowned and scolded coldly. Su Chen, don't be ignorant. Take the money and leave immediately. Don't make a fool of yourself here. I stood up straight slowly, my deep and cold eyes sweeping over the scattered cash on the ground, then staring indifferently at the two people in front of me. My powerful and low voice resounded clearly throughout the silent Marina entrance, reaching everyone's ears. You think a rented yacht is your capital to show off? You think clinging to a fake rich second generation is climbing the upper class? You think abandoning me for these superficial vanities is the so-called correct choice? Zhang Rui's face changed slightly, but he still pretended to be calm and arrogant. Rented? Ridiculous. This yacht is my private property. Do you know how much it costs? A poor man like you can't earn this money in 10 lifetimes. Private property? I sneered coldly, the corners of my mouth filled with endless mockery. All yachts parked in Blue Bay Marina, all berths, all venues, and all sea resources here are my private property. You are just a tenant who spends money to rent my assets to pretend to be powerful. As soon as my words fell, Zhang Rui and Lin Wanqing were both stunned on the spot, and the surrounding elite guests also showed incredulous mocking expressions. Everyone thought I was crazy and talking big words to save face after being humiliated. Haha, what a brazen poor man. He can't even afford a yacht toy, and he dares to boast that he owns the entire Blue Bay Marina. Zhang Rui laughed wildly, full of contempt. Blue Bay Marina is the top coastal landmark of Jiangchen. Its owner is a legendary billionaire. How dare you pretend to be the boss? You are simply ridiculous. Lin Wanqing also shook her head disappointedly, her eyes full of deeper disgust. Su Chen, you are not only poor and incompetent, but also vain and boastful. You even dare to talk such crazy lies. I'm really glad I broke off the engagement with you. A man who can only brag is the most useless. The surrounding guests also started whispering and mocking again, thinking that I was talking nonsense to cover up my inferiority and embarrassment. Just as the ridicule was at its peak, a row of blacktop luxury business cars slowly drove into the marina entrance and stopped neatly. A group of senior management personnel in high-end custom suits quickly got out of the cars and walked straight towards me respectfully. Walking at the front was Qin Hao, the general manager of Blue Bay International Marina, the highest-ranking executive in charge of all daily operations, yacht management, member services, and venue scheduling of the entire marina. He is usually aloof and prestigious, and even the top wealthy people in the city need to take the initiative to greet and flatter him when they meet him. Behind him were the yacht department director, club operation president, and senior service supervisors of the marina, all of whom are industry elites with high status and strong capabilities. Such a luxurious senior management lineup has never appeared together in any ordinary party in the marina. All the surrounding elite guests were instantly stunned, their eyes full of shock and confusion, completely unable to understand why the top management team of Blue Bay Marina would suddenly appear here. Before anyone could recover from the shock, General Manager Qin Hao led all the senior executives to walk quickly to me. Under the gaze of all the petrified guests, including Zhang Rui and Lin Wanqing, the usually aloof and powerful general manager Qin bent his waist 90 degrees deeply, bowed respectfully, and shouted in a trembling and extremely reverent voice that spread throughout the entire marina. Respected Boss Su, all senior management staff of Blue Bay International Marina are here to greet you. We are extremely guilty for failing to detect the disrespectful behavior towards you on our site. Please forgive our serious dereliction of duty. Boom. The entire Blue Bay Marina entrance completely exploded into earth-shaking uproar. All the elite guests were petrified on the spot, their brains blank, their bodies stiff, falling into unprecedented extreme shock and disbelief. The arrogant smile on Zhang Rui's face completely collapsed in an instant. His legs went weak, and he slumped heavily to the ground with a dull thud. His whole body trembled violently. Cold sweat soaked through his custom suit in an instant, and the famous watch on his wrist seemed extremely ridiculous and gaudy at this moment. Lin Wanqing's pretty face turned pale as paper in a second. She froze in place, her eyes wide open, staring at the scene in front of her in a daze, completely unable to believe her ears. The proud and superior expression on her face disappeared without a trace, replaced by endless horror, panic, and desperate regret. The poor and incompetent fiancé she abandoned in public, the mediocre man she ridiculed and humiliated, was actually the supreme boss of Blue Bay Marina, the legendary top billionaire standing at the pinnacle of Jiangqing's coastal elite circle. The luxury yacht that Zhang Rui showed off crazily and relied on to win her favor was just an ordinary rental asset under my name. The top elite party they were proud of attending was a private event held in my private venue. The so-called elite status and wealth they pursued were all trivial vanities built on my industrial territory. Qin Hao stood up straight, took out the highest level global property ownership certificate and industrial equity documents with both hands, and publicly announced to all the stunned guests in a loud and solemn tone. I solemnly announce to all present today, Mr. Su Chen is the sole legal owner, absolute controlling shareholder, and founder of Blue Bay International Marina. All coastal venue assets, exclusive yacht berths, waterfront villas, super yacht fleets, high-end club operating rights, and all supporting service industries of Blue Bay Marina are 100% privately owned by Mr. Su Chen. All management personnel, service teams, yacht captains, and technical employees of the entire marina work exclusively for M.R. Su Chen. All annual operating profits, high-end membership fees, and yacht rental income of the marina belong exclusively to M.R. Su Chen's personal assets. The Sunseeker yacht rented by Mr. Zhang Rui today is one of the ordinary rental yachts in our boss's private fleet. All his so-called wealthy performances are based on leasing our boss's assets. M.R. Su Chen has always kept a low profile and experienced ordinary life in his daily life. He has no shortage of top luxury yachts and high-end social status, but simply disdains superficial vanity shows. These sonorous and powerful words were like continuous thunderclaps exploding over everyone's heads, completely shattering all superficial cognition, snobbish prejudice, and false superiority. All the elite guests finally woke up completely. The low-key ordinary man who was abandoned and humiliated just now was the real top tycoon that all of them could never climb up to in their entire lives. I stood calmly in the center of the scene, my cold eyes slowly sweeping over the desperate and terrified Zhang Ruwei and the completely collapsed Lin Wanqing, and my powerful voice resounded throughout the entire silent marina. I dress plainly to keep a low profile, not because I have no money. I drive an ordinary car to live a simple life, not because I have no ability. I own hundreds of top super yachts, dozens of private sea view villas, and the entire top coastal elite venue of Zhangcheng. For me, these so-called luxury yachts and high-end banquets are just trivial daily ornaments, never capital for showing off and arrogance. You, Zhang Ruwei, rely on renting my assets to pretend to be a wealthy elite, bluff and deceive in the circle, and take false prosperity as your capital to bully others. Your so-called wealth and status are just a bubble that can be crushed with a single touch. You, Lin Wanqing, blindly worship superficial vanity, abandon your sincere feelings, betray your engagement, and humiliate your fiancé in public for a fake rich man. You judge a person's value by flashy appearances, and your vision and character are extremely superficial and ridiculous. True success and nobility never need luxury goods and ostentatious venues to prove. Only those who have no real strength will rely on external packaging to satisfy their empty vanity. Your arrogant and snobbish behavior today is the biggest joke in the real elite circle. Every word hit the hearts of Zhang Ruwei and Lin Wanqing hard, making them tremble constantly, with endless regret and despair spreading in their hearts. All the surrounding elite guests hung their heads deeply, full of shame and awe, and no one dared to look up at me again. Hashtag Chapter 30 Mercy Cleansing, complete collapse of vanity and false wealth. After recovering from extreme shock and fear, Lin Wanqing completely collapsed mentally. She rushed forward in a panic, tears streaming down her face, trying to grab my arm, and begged hoarsely with a trembling voice. Su Chun, I'm wrong. I know I'm wrong. I was blind and superficial. I didn't know your real identity. I shouldn't have abandoned you and humiliated you in public. Please forgive me. Let's remarry. I will definitely be good to you in the future. I will never be vain again. She was scared out of her wits. She finally realized how huge a mistake she had made. She abandoned a real billionaire fiancé who hid his wealth for her and clung to a fake rich second generation who rented yachts to pretend to be powerful. Her ridiculous vanity and snobbery ruined her perfect life completely. Zhang Ruwei also struggled to get up from the ground, knelt heavily on the cold marble floor of the marina, kowtowed repeatedly, and begged for mercy in panic. Boss Su, please spare me. I was ignorant and arrogant. I rented your yacht to pretend to be powerful and offended you recklessly. I beg you not to punish my family's business. I will never dare to pretend to be powerful again. They knelt on the ground in embarrassment, begging for my forgiveness in front of all the elite guests, completely losing all their face and dignity. All the surrounding guests watched this dramatic scene, their eyes full of ridicule and disdain for the two vanity snobs. I looked at the two people kneeling on the ground indifferently, without the slightest pity in my eyes. Feelings that are trampled on and betrayed can never be restored, and snobbery and arrogance that hurt others are never worthy of forgiveness. I turned my eyes to General Manager Qin Hao beside me and issued cold and decisive orders one by one without any hesitation. First, immediately recover all yacht usage rights and all venue consumption qualifications of Zhang Ruwei. Permanently blacklist Zhang Ruwei and all his immediate family members, prohibit them from renting any yachts, entering any venues, and enjoying any services of Blue Bay Marina for life, completely cutting off all his high-end social channels in Zhangcheng. Second, notify all major elite circles, wealthy associations, and high-end industry institutions in Zhangcheng to completely block Zhang Ruwei, announce his behavior of leasing assets to pretend to be wealthy and insulting the marina owner, let him become a public laughingstock in the entire elite circle, and completely ruin his social reputation. Third, completely cut off all cooperative relations with Zhang Ruwei's family enterprise, terminate all business docking and resource sharing, prohibit all local enterprises from cooperating with his family's company, completely collapse his family's capital chain, and make his family's small enterprise go bankrupt within a week. Fourth, permanently include Lin Wanqing in the highest level blacklist of Blue Bay Marina. She and her family are prohibited from stepping into any venue of the marina for life, and all high-end industry resources and elite circle connections in the city are completely blocked for her. Fifth, publicly announce the whole story of this incident on the official platform of Blue Bay Marina. Take it as a typical warning case. Advocate correct values of rejecting vanity and respecting low-key strength, and severely crack down on the bad atmosphere of pretending to be wealthy and judging people by appearance in the elite circle. Sixth, upgrade the marina's entry threshold and member review mechanism. Strictly screen all high-end members, eliminate all snobbish and vain low-quality customers, and maintain the pure and high-end industry style of the marina. Execute all orders immediately with zero delay. Yes, we will strictly implement all Boss Su's instructions perfectly and ensure zero omission in all processes. General Manager Qin Hao and all senior executives bowed respectfully and responded loudly in unison. With the implementation of my orders, the fate of Zhang Ruwei and Lin Wanqing was completely doomed in an instant. Within 3 hours, Zhang Rui's yacht usage qualification was forcibly revoked, and the luxury yacht he showed off was immediately taken back by the Marina staff. He was kicked out of the party scene on the spot, completely losing all his pretended elite posture. Within one day, all high-end circles in Jiangqing spread the whole story of his pretending to be wealthy by renting yachts and insulting the Marina owner. All wealthy businessmen and celebrities cut off contact with him completely, and he became a notorious laughingstock in the entire city's elite circle, with no one willing to associate with him. Within 3 days, all cooperative enterprises terminated their business relations with his family's company. The company's capital chain completely collapsed, the business was completely stagnant, and it was forced to declare bankruptcy and liquidate all assets. His family's years of hard work turned into bubbles overnight, and his originally decent family fell into complete decline. From a glamorous, young, rich second generation in the elite circle, Zhang Rui fell to a down-and-out loser with a bankrupt family and a ruined reputation. He was excluded and ridiculed by the whole circle and could never set foot in any high-end social occasion in Jiangqing again. Lin Wanqing's end was even more miserable. She was completely blacklisted by Blue Bay Marina, and all high-end consumption and elite circle resources in the city were completely closed to her. All her friends and social contacts knew about her snobbish betrayal and ridiculous behavior, and all cut off contact with her one after another. She abandoned a real top billionaire for a fake rich man, and finally got nothing. She lost her sincere feelings, her social reputation, and all her elite resources. She could only watch me stand at the peak of wealth and status, while she fell into endless mediocrity and regret. She knelt on the ground and cried bitterly, kowtowing until her forehead was red and swollen, but she never got the slightest forgiveness from me. The regret of missing a top billionaire fiancé and betraying sincere feelings will haunt her for the rest of her life, making her suffer endless pain and remorse every day. Chapter 4 Final Ending. Low-keys are the real top powers. After dealing with all the trivial farces, the noisy Marina entrance returned to calm. All the elite guests stood respectfully on both sides, looking at me with endless awe and admiration, completely changing their previous snobbish and contemptuous attitude. I glanced indifferently at the 2 desperate people kneeling on the ground, turned around calmly, and walked towards the top private sea view villa of the Marina. All senior management staff followed respectfully behind me, forming a solemn guard of honor. Under the night neon lights of the entire marina, hundreds of top luxury yachts lit up their lights in unison, shining brightly on the vast sea surface, presenting a supreme and luxurious scene exclusive only to me. Standing on the top sea view balcony, overlooking my vast coastal industry and countless luxury assets under my name, I felt extremely calm in my heart. I have always believed that real strength never needs deliberate showing off, and real nobility never relies on superficial vanity to support. Those who are keen on showing off wealth, clinging to false prosperity, and judging others by appearance are always the most superficial and incompetent people. Money and status are just external attachments of life, never the standard to measure human nature and feelings. Sincere feelings and noble character are the most precious wealth in life, far more valuable than any luxury yacht and high-end banquet. Lin Wanqing's mistake was that she was blinded by vanity, abandoned the most precious sincerity, and chased the most illusory flashy. She paid a heavy price for her snobbery and superficiality and lost everything she once had. Zhang Rui's mistake was that he relied on false packaging to bluff and deceive, took other people's assets as his own capital to show off and bully others, and finally collapsed completely in front of real strength. In this world, there are countless low-key hidden tycoons like me. We hide our wealth in plain sight, live an ordinary life, and disdain to compete with the world's trivial vanities. But once our bottom line is touched and our dignity is trampled on, we will definitely crush all false superiority with absolute strength and let all snobbish and ignorant people pay the price they deserve. Kindness has edges, and tolerance has boundaries. My low profile is my self-cultivation, never the capital for others to trample on my dignity and betray my sincerity arbitrarily. Those who worship money and vanity, betray sincerity for superficial prosperity, and bully the low-key and humble will eventually be abandoned by reality and fall into the abyss of regret forever.